So when I think of love intelligence, that very first step is looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I see you, I hear you, what do you need? What are you going through? What's been on your mind? What is on your heart? Because that's the roadmap to what's next. How can you have compassion for something that you won't even look at?
Welcome to Carrie On, the show where we explore reinvention, self-discovery, and empowerment before, during, and after midlife. I'm your host, Carrie Murray. It's time to keep our head above the chaos and carry on. Let's talk about the moment your life falls apart and why it might be the best thing that has ever happened to you. Because here's the truth. Most women don't change when they're inspired. They change when they're cracked wide open. Divorce, identity shifts, the how did I get here moments we don't exactly post about on Instagram. Today's guest, Natasha McCrea, knows that moment intimately. And instead of shrinking, she used it to step fully into her power. We're talking fear, reinvention, and what it actually looks like to become her in your so-called midlife, or as we like to call it, your queen era. This is Carrie On. So welcome, Natasha. I'm thrilled that you're here. We've known each other for about 2 years now. Yeah. And you've always been, when I see you across the room at an event, I'm like, great, Natasha's here. Natasha is that person, the girl you want to see in a crowded room, be like, great, someone here is going to get me.
I got you.
And now I get to have you on my show and we get to talk about you.
All right.
And I want to hear all about love intelligence, how you built that, all the things. But let's start back when this began. How did this whole love of love begin?
Oh my goodness. I did not know I was a love addict until I went to therapy. Mm-hmm. And I was introduced to the concept of love addiction, and all the boxes that I had to check were me. And I went through a process of reconditioning myself to just fall in love with myself, because I had a different concept of what love was. I thought it was a romantic love you see in movies. And so when I learned this, I started looking at everything I possibly could about love. Like, I went to all the personal development workshops. I dove into the Bible, what their concept is of love. I started evaluating all the horrible relationships that I had. And I wrote a one-woman show. And in writing that one-woman show, I didn't realize what I was getting to. I just was writing, right, over years. And I got to the point where I understood that true, most authentic love is the relationship that I have with myself. And it goes beyond the surface level of self-love. It's really an innate intelligence. And I didn't discover the innate intelligence until I started coaching. So 5 years in, thousands of hours of coaching in, group workshops, and I started seeing these patterns that I wasn't this, we talked earlier about guru. I was not this guru. I was someone who was allowing people to come back to themselves. And I got a download. And the year that I got the download, I just began to write. And I uncovered that we were all born with love intelligence, and that is a human design. It's not something that we have to go searching for. It's something that we have. Like, as a baby, we have compassion for ourselves. We speak up for ourselves. We accept the love that we're given. We mimic back or mirror back the love that we see in someone's face. And we lose that with society and school and life experiences. So love intelligence came out of my relationship to love, which was not that great, and sharing love and the concept of love and the concept of making yourself a priority, and then getting that download and really understanding that it is love intelligence, which we all have.
Yeah. There's this idea that women feel the shift, right? Mm-hmm. That at one point we kind of, we are very much, kind of conditioned to have to feel worthy of love, right? Yeah. We have to earn it. We have to achieve something and then, I'll get love in return. What do you say to that 20-year-old person, that 20-year-old woman or man who thinks I have to earn love. I have to be worthy of it.
Yeah, absolutely not. That was one of the hardest lessons, to learn is we get so performative. Love is infinite. So there is enough to go around. And I truly believe we multiply what we can do for ourselves. And since you were born with that intelligence, you can call in more of it and where your cup completely overflows. It is never required for you to do something to earn it. It's never required for you to look a certain way or be a certain way or have a certain amount of accomplishments. You have enough love. And I know when you're in the midst of it, it's hard to believe that I have this thing because I want this thing. But that is law. You have the thing. Mm-hmm. You're not waiting to get the thing. You're waiting to catch up with understanding you already have the thing. Wow. And if you already have it, then you begin to attract so much more of it.
It's true. I feel like, when you're like dating and nobody hits on you, nobody even notices you, but all of a sudden you start getting in a relationship and it's like Spanish fly.
They can smell it on you.
Smell it like somebody likes you. Somebody loves you. Somebody's into you. You kind of like have this air about you.
You exude that.
It does.
It's in your blood.
It's really, really hot, actually, when you see it, right?
Yeah.
When you see it kind of come out and everything. I can say, on the other side of that, I was married for a long time, and there were some years when there was more love than other years.
Yes.
But I very much felt like I had to earn that and to get it in return. But the idea of like loving myself first was just unheard of.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, no, I have to love my children, I have to love my husband, and I have to get them, and then I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
And everything. What do you say to the woman who's feeling that they don't feel love, but they're supposed to be in love?
Yeah. In love with yourself is the priority. I feel like oftentimes we are always looking to, they say, oh, fill other people's cup. But when someone says fill your cup, it's easier said than done. But when you do, I always say you don't give from your cup, actually. You give from what's in the saucer. Like if we just put that concept, then we can choose ourselves daily and we won't accept certain things. So if the concept of I'm not giving from what's in my cup, period, because that's my cup.
Yeah.
I give from the overflow. So my responsibility as a mom, my responsibility in relationships, my responsibility as a friend is truly to fill my cup up to the brim, that it overflows, so then I can give the overflow to my friends and my love and my children. And sometimes when we first start thinking about that, it's like, oh, it's easier said than done, right?
Sure.
However, you will multiply the time in your life. You will multiply how you feel love. It will multiply. It goes back to what you were saying. Like when you're in love, you feel that, people see it. So when you are like 100% in love with yourself, people feel that when you walk in a room. Mm-hmm. And it's scary at first because you're thinking from a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time.
Selfish. Am I being selfish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I being selfish? I don't have enough time. Sometimes people say self-care isn't selfish. I think it absolutely is. And we should be selfish. And that's the only way. And selfish to the point, not excluding the foundational compassion and love for others.
Yeah.
And the only way you can truly have compassionate love for others is if you have truly fell in love with yourself. And I mean, this is even a bigger conversation when we think about it globally, how some of the leaders aren't showing up with compassion and love. I can clearly see that they hate themselves.
Yeah.
I can clearly see that they never thought highly of themselves. and it comes out in how they treat people. So if you, and think about it from this perspective, you're taking care of everyone else, but you're not even giving them the best parts of you.
Right. You're holding back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think people hold back based out of fear?
Oh, yeah, fear, fear of the unknown. I think people also hold back because they don't want to be left without, which is a very interesting concept. Because if you are giving all of it away, you're gonna be left without.
Yeah. What about me?
Yeah. What about me? But I mean, come on, Carrie, that's real.
Yeah.
It is fear, and fear is the opposite of love.
Today's episode includes a paid endorsement. As always, I only partner with brands I use, trust, and feel good about sharing with you. Enjoy.
Before we jump back in, quick story. For 10 years, my company was called BRA Network, Business Relationship Alliance. Support was literally my brand. So when I tell you I'm picky about bras, I mean it. And I'm obsessed with Handful. It lifts without wires, flatters without flattening, and feels good all day, not just for those 30-second Instagram posts. I wear it to yoga, I wear it to filming, I wear it when I need to feel pulled together but comfortable. It's the kind of support that doesn't squeeze you into somebody else's shape. Use code Carrie On at handful.com. Support and make it intentional. Now back to the show. Yeah, and I know one thing you said to me in our pre-interview, I wrote it down. It says, I'm not afraid of anything except being overcome by fear.
Yes, that is so real.
Tell me more about that.
Whoo, child. Fear is paralyzing to me, which is the hardest thing for me to accept. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people talk about procrastination or whatever, but for me, when I think about procrastinating, it feels like my soul is literally dwindling. And I don't mean the overachiever kind of like, I got to get this done. I have so much to do.
Or the perfectionist.
Yeah, or the perfectionist. Yeah. I just mean I'm called for something. I know this, and I'm not doing it. That crushes my spirits. Ooh, that crushed my spirit.
Yeah.
And I've had moments like that where I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm just not doing it. And it is fear. It's fear of what other people are going to think about me. That's a huge one for me, that I'm constantly reprogramming my mind.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, constantly. I have to reprogram that.
I definitely find myself fear, of not being accepted. So I want to mold myself to fit in spaces and get along with what's happening. But then when I'm there and I'm doing that, I'm like, well, where's Carrie? Yeah. I've lost myself. And then I'm like, I got to get the hell out of Dodge. Like, I can't be in this space. Gone are those days, right? That's what you do in your 20s, right? We have to fit in. We have to, all the things. Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. How long does it take for you to realize it? How long does it take for you to realize that? Like when you walk in a room and you're like, hold up.
Now pretty quickly. Yeah. But in my 20s and 30s, I would sit in it for a while, even a job.
Yeah.
Like sitting in like a crappy job or something and being the fear that I'm never going to make this money again. I'm never going to be happy again. My parents are going to be disappointed.
People are going to think I'm a failure.
Yes.
I've had that.
Yeah,
I had that in the most recent transition that I made.
Yeah.
And that is hard.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because sometimes I think I grasped that. I got that concept. And then you look up sometimes and you're like, well, girl, why is it taking you 2 years to make this decision?
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself constantly, it's like, okay, you are on a journey.
Yes.
You are on a journey, and sometimes it's flossy and sometimes it's not. And I also feel the more you connect with people, the more they can mirror back who you are if you're in the right rooms.
Yeah.
And I will say, when I was not choosing myself, I hadn't really been connecting with people.
Yeah.
Because of that idea of, I'm so busy, I got so much to do, there's so much going on. And I think if you are going to do anything that does that to you, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
At least for me and the folks that I resonate with, it's not worth it. If it's going to make me so busy that I cannot genuinely connect with people without an ulterior motive, then it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And that's a trap The disconnection is a trap. We were meant to connect. So the disconnection is a trap, and therefore you get stuck in spaces and doing things that you know dang well you shouldn't have been. Yeah.
And you've probably known for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I know I've been in spaces just being like, why am I still here?
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of show up not your true self.
Yeah.
Or you show up late. You show up unprepared. You show up like rescheduling a couple things. Like you kind of, you see the symptoms.
Signs.
Yeah. They're all there saying you're not in a place of love and abundance.
Yeah.
You're in a place of like, ugh.
Oh, that's so
stuck.
real.
Yeah. So stuck. Back to love intelligence.
Yes.
Tell the audience, give us some examples. Love intelligence. How do you work with clients when you want them to like figure out their love IQ?
Yeah, your love IQ. The very first is what most any framework leans into is self-awareness. And the type of self-awareness isn't just, I'm going to do an inventory of my thoughts. The checklist. What I mean is making that phone call to your bestie. How often do you talk to the bestie and really dive into a conversation? So when I think of love intelligence, that very first step is looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I see you, I hear you, what do you need? What are you going through? What's been on your mind? What is on your heart? Because that's the roadmap to what's next. How can you have compassion for something that you won't even look at?
Right.
How can you have compassion for something that you've never even discussed? So when you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, girl, what do you need? What have you been going through? Then you can lean in and say, I have compassion for myself. Even if you don't know what that next step is supposed to be, it's giving yourself grace, giving yourself that hug. If you were talking to a girlfriend who says exactly what you are going through, what would you do? Would you put your arm around her shoulder? Would you say, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you? And then you lean into what's next. What does that look like?
Yeah.
How can I help myself out of this mess? What different choice do I need to make? And then you also have to be open to receive. I've talked to somebody recently and they were like, it's so hard for me to receive help.
Yeah.
Or it's so hard for me to receive love.
Yeah.
You were born with knowing how to receive. So it's nothing that you have to step back into, like, give me the strategy.
Right.
I mean, I can give you some tips to help you, get there, but you already have it.
Mm-hmm.
You already have it. And it's scary. It goes back to what you were saying, like fear. What's going to happen if I open myself up and become vulnerable to this person who's supposed to help me? What if they turn into something I don't think they are? What if they disappoint me or I expect great things from them? So when I'm working with the client, I will have them get just like down dirty about what their wants and desires are. And oftentimes you forget. You forget, you don't know how to answer that question. Sometimes you have wanted things that other people have wanted for you.
Yeah.
And it requires doing some talking and journaling. You got to lean in.
Yeah.
You have to lean in. I know I worked with this client and she was all about climbing up the ladder, her kids, getting them into private school. And she had no time for herself on the calendar. And I said, in order for you to understand who you are and what you want, we need to give you that time back. And the first thing I told her to do is mark 2 hours on your calendar. And she's like, for what? And I said, absolutely nothing.
I love this.
And she was just like excuse
what?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? What do you mean 2 hours just for me?
2 hours for absolutely nothing.
Wow.
And she's like, since I'm paying you, okay, I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. By the time I worked with her for years, but by the time we were done, she had got back into her health and fitness, and she had built a self-care brand with a friend when she had no time before.
Right.
Like there's absolutely no time. She started seeing her dad or a scheduled time with the dad on the phone call when she wasn't really seeing him or talking to him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, on the calendar, we live by the calendar.
We do.
Yeah.
We definitely do. When you're, I'm wondering, do you mostly see this with women of a certain age? Like, do you feel like there's an age we kind of hit? Like, I know people like to call it midlife. I don't like to use that word.
Yeah.
I like to call us queenagers.
I love that. You said that to me the other day, and I said I'm keeping that one for myself.
You can use that. But do you see it? I'm just curious. Are most of your clients lived a little bit of life? Maybe have had some milestones or some tragedy or trauma happen to where they've maybe forgotten how to be loved and how to accept and receive love.
Yeah. I think once you've lived so much, and I know even for myself, once you've lived so much, you start building these walls. And if you don't do the inventory of, okay, I've been through some stuff, it's time to make sure I'm, clearing out the walls. Let me clear out the clutter. And we have to spend time decluttering. We have to. People do that spring cleaning for their house. Why wouldn't you do that for your life? And we have to spend time decluttering. And so most of the women who've gone through just life and tragedies, it's the walls of, I don't have time to deal with that. I will deal with that later. Because we, got to take care of the kids. Right. I got to get the kid off to college.
My parents. I got to take care of my parents.
I have parents. I don't have time to deal with these emotions. No. And so once you get to a place where you can't take it anymore, it starts showing up. You want to stay in the bed and you don't know why. You're not doing the things that you love. And you look up and you're like, I hate my life, even though it looks good on paper.
Yeah. And people are telling you it looks great.
Yes. People
You're so lucky. You're so lucky. I am.
Right. Oh my gosh. And when that happens, that's when they're ready to make a change. And if we thought about, when I go back into love intelligence, and it's definitely a practice, if we look at it as a practice and we look at it as this daily relationship with self, then those moments, we have less of the moments of chaos, less of the moments of paralyzation, less of the moments of situational depression, because we've addressed some things. And instead of having to move a huge boulder, we're just slowly moving these little rocks every now and then. Yeah.
I love that.
And I'll tell you too, I see it in men. A lot of times, I've had women say this, that men are selfish, and a lot of times they can be, but they aren't taking care of themselves. Even though they're doing things for everyone else, they are not really taking care of their heart, their health. And then it looks like them just doing all these things.
Staying busy.
Yeah. They're doing the staying busy, and the selfishness comes out of them being busy and not thinking about the other people. But they don't have a heightened sense of love intelligence.
Right.
Just because they think of themselves first. I'm going to go to the game with the guys and I don't care about what's happening. I'm finding that a lot of men don't know what self-care is.
Right. They think it's a woman thing.
Yeah.
And imagine if they put 2 hours for themselves on their calendar.
Like strictly for themselves.
Yeah. I don't think they would know what to do with themselves.
No.
They'd be texting you, what are you doing?
Yeah. That's true.
No, right?
What are you doing? What should I do?
What should I be doing? We talk about, on a random Tuesday, like today's Thursday, what does standing in your power mean to you? When you hear that, you use that a lot, stand in your power.
I know. I say that. I think that's a mantra for myself.
Yeah.
I use it a lot, but it's also a mantra for myself. And I think that means, I know that means choosing myself, not abandoning myself. When if we just check into our intuition, we have answers, right?
Yeah.
And we just abandon that and go towards, oh, my friend said this, or, oh, I really should do that. So standing in my power means responding to the knowing in the best way possible and living at my best, and no longer shrinking myself. I was journaling yesterday and I was like, you know what I've been doing? I have been trying to shove this galaxy of magnificence that I have into one planet. We all have these galaxies of magnificence. And if we try to just throw them up in, I'm a coach over here, and that's what I throw it all in there. Oh, I'm a mom, or I own a whiskey brand, and we just try to pigeonhole ourselves into that, that's not standing in your power. It's like this galaxy of power. If you shove yourself into this box, your power is only going to expand as big as the box.
Truly.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on now.
It's
we
like the
cannot.
fish tank. You know,
Yeah.
the fish can only grow as big as the tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So standing in my power means choosing myself every day, asking myself the hard questions. How are you dealing with this? Like, I'm in a pageant now, and
Ooh, do tell.
yes, I'm in a pageant. Lord, this is my first pageant. This is my first pageant.
Tell us.
And so when I had
Talk about standing in your power.
Yes. When I had my second divorce, I was a part of Win Foundation, which is a nonprofit. And this nonprofit, as a fundraiser, they do a pageant every year. So past 30 years, Mrs. Globe. And I stayed in touch with the founder. And a couple of months ago, I reached out because I had gone down there last year and I wanted to just participate in some way. And she's like, well, would you like to be a delegate? Now, I had just told my husband, oh, I need something to challenge me.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing small and I need an external force to make me show up. I knew that's what I needed.
Yeah.
And so my husband goes, well, there's your challenge. And so I'm in this pageant, and I have to admit, I had some prejudgments about pageants.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying it out loud on a podcast. I wouldn't say that out loud to however many millions of people are listening to this. But I had some preconceived notions about pageants. But I realize it's almost like network marketing. It makes you look in the mirror. It makes you show up. It makes you answer the questions about your self-doubt. Self-doubt pops up. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, you need to be in a place to accept who you are and who you look like today.
And not the 19-year-old
Yes.
version of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And all of those things have been swirling for me. And I'm like, what is happening, Lord? I got all these questions and doubts. And I went in. For anyone who's out there, like, listening, like, Carrie, you know you've done some great things. I think it's so important, too, for us to remember the things that we've done and the talks that we've had and go back and listen to them. Now you have this podcast, but I have to go back and listen to these things to remind myself how great I am and to accept who I am today. And that's what being in this pageant is showing me. Like, full acceptance, full visibility,
Full vulnerability.
full vulnerability, no more hiding behind being an introvert. People are like, I'm an introvert. And we say that like, oh, I get a pass for not
Right.
living in my greatness.
Right.
Like, come on.
Because I'm introverted.
Yeah, I'm introverted, so I don't have to show up for myself.
Right.
So I'm being challenged to go, girl, you can't. Yeah, just do what needs to be done and then go hibernate
Right.
for 2 days.
Because
Get
a
over
lot
it.
of women, if they were like, would you like to be a delegate and join the pageant, would be like, well, maybe in 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, maybe after, I got my Botox starts kicking in. But you just took it, said, I'm doing it, and
Oh, my
the
goodness.
real big question is there a talent competition and what are you doing?
Yes, there is a talent competition.
I was joking. Are you serious?
There is, and it's optional. But here I am with living in my magnificence. I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to do a portion of my one-woman show, Evolution of a Love Addict.
Love that.
I have to, and I'm like, even though I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, I'm so proud.
Oh, now
I'm
it's
saying
recorded.
It.
You're
I'm
doing
like
it now.
I'm all cringy inside. I'm like, girl, go on and work out them affirmations when I get home.
Right. Well, tell me a little bit about the one-woman show.
Oh my goodness, I had so much fun doing that show. So when my kid was going to college, I was a single mom, I was an artist, had side businesses, and when Jordan became a junior in high school, I was like, okay, I'm gonna need a lot of money for senior year.
Yeah.
So I went and got a job, and it was great. It paid great. I was able to do all the things. Me and God had the conversation because I'm an actress. I'm putting that on hold because I'm executive assistant to C-suite. There's no way I'm going on auditions.
Right.
So I knew I was putting on hold, and God was like, 3 years. Give me 3 years. So at the 3-year mark, I was like, all right, bet, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I kept asking myself, well, how am I going to come back into the industry without, I wasn't like a
pause
series
like that.
regular.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
a
with a
long
pause.
pause.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you know there are 10 bitches coming
come
right up behind you.
on.
Yes, to take your spot.
They are on me. They were
Yes.
already in the seat.
Yes, they were.
Man, so God was like, I got my intuition, gut, God, Holy Spirit, all of it was like, you know what? You have been writing this one woman show for the last 15 years. So I had monologues and journals and so many things written. I had taken a class that had monologues. And so one day I go home, I'm still at the job. I go home, I put all of the things on the table. I mean, not table, actually it was so much, it was on my floor, my living room floor. And I began to read them. I would stand over it and just read them. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the evolution of a love addict.
Wow.
Listening to the very first ones where I'm writing, love, I love you. And I couldn't even remember who I was writing that about. I was like, he is the love of my life. My heart beats a million times in a minute. And I'm like, who was that guy? Like, I don't even remember that. To the final ones where I was feeling like, okay, Natasha, you love yourself. And this is life. And you're going to draw in the love for yourself. And even if I don't, I was at a place of I love myself where I just love myself. And that was enough. And so that was Evolution of a Love Addict. And it was a sneak peek into the mind of a serial dating divorcee. I acted like all the guys I dated. So there were like 15 different characters. And it was so much fun.
That is so cool.
It was so
you know
much
what? You
fun.
know what else you did? You wrote your book.
Yes, I did.
So I don't know if I don't want to give you more work, but if you've got that many things already written, put it all together and make yourself a book.
Yes.
I think you already got a great title.
I know.
I love that.
I have all the poems of during that era, those eras, multiple eras. I lived thousands of eras. I wrote a book of poetry, and you could, as you read it, you can literally see this girl. What's she? Oh, she's coming around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, she's getting there.
She's getting there. Like you
Okay.
see the transition, and I think a lot of people have gone through what I was writing about.
Yes.
They just think they're not talking about it out loud.
Right.
They're not
Or
put-
doing a one-woman show about it. Yeah.
yes,
I think that's
yes.
incredibly brave, first off. It's also your TED Talk. I'm just going to give you more work.
It really
Yes.
is. I received that.
Yeah.
I receive it. It was really brave. Also specifically because I went back to what got me to being a love addict. And it was when I found out my dad had twins from an affair that he had. And my parents are still married. Yeah, so I put that in the show.
Wow.
And, I talked to parents. My mom's like, fine, talk to your father. And so I talked to my dad, and he's like, yeah, go ahead. And then I had a couple of cousins who came to the show, and they were like, we didn't know. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. But one of the most amazing shows I did, it was in San Francisco. My parents were in the audience, and so were the twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in their 30s, and everyone in the audience, my workshop, my show would always have a Q&A, and it would turn into like group therapy.
Right. Right.
I'm like, don't you want to know how long it took me to write this
Yeah, they're
one-woman
like,
show?
so for me, I was feeling this way and I felt so seen when I heard your show.
yeah. So how do you do this? So that's what it turned into. So it was therapy. It was healing for my family. It was healing for me. Writing is healing.
Truly.
Yeah.
And then sharing it with the world, people see themselves within you.
Yeah.
And then that gives them permission to love themselves again because they don't feel
yeah.
worthy of it, right?
Yeah.
You feel like I've let people down. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I better just suck it up because, like I said, people are telling me how lucky I am.
Yes.
And like, why am I not happy? Why am I not feeling love? And I'm supposed to be so lucky.
Yeah.
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 Is it hard to, tell me about a day when you're like, ugh, I'm sick of this. Do you have those moments?
yes.
And how do you get yourself out of them?
Oh my gosh. Saffron, everyone. Saffron. It's so funny. I was talking to my sister the other day because I'm getting phone calls from people that I mentioned Saffron to because in 2024, December, my therapist, I had been seeing my therapist for over like a year and a half. And then she finally was like, hey, so I noticed you've been feeling this way for a while. And how long's it been? And we do the math and we're like, okay, it's been more than 4 months. And she's like, well, you could probably go get some meds from your doctor now. And I was like, you know what? I might just do that because I have no problem. But I'm also a really natural girly. So I went down the rabbit hole and I started going, okay, substitutes for Prozac, substitute for Zoloft. And then I found these white papers that were written with Saffron and Zoloft or Saffron and Prozac.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I went and I said, I'm doing it all natural. I'm not even getting the supplements. So I
Yeah.
went to farmer's market, got the little saffron, started taking like 4 of those little,
Yeah.
what are those things
Like
called?
not. I'm not a
They're not
farmer.
herbs, leaves. Someone
Leaves.
called it leaves.
I was gonna say seeds.
Leaves, seeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would take 4 of those, and it took 3 days for the cloud to lift.
Wow.
So lately, I'll mention it to people, and I just mention it in passing. And then 4 months later, they're telling me, oh my goodness, you know what? I actually started taking that, life changer. Several
wow.
different people.
Wow. I'm gonna add that to my shopping list.
Yeah.
Saffron. Okay.
Yeah, saffron. So on the day, I take saffron. So that was kind of like a joke, but I think it's important to talk about it. I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor, blah, blah, blah. But I often have days where I'm just like, this is for the birds. I had one other day and I was just like, okay, what we about to do? You got stuff to do. You don't want to be in the office. I literally grabbed my laptop, turned on the TV, and had my chill mode tea and worked from there. Or I just didn't. There's 2 weeks ago, I just didn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm out by the pool.
Yeah.
But I keep track of all the stuff that I need to do. So I know, I'm like, okay, girl, you got about 48 hours for this, and then you're going to have to snap out of it. But I always give myself grace. I always give myself grace. But I do have those days, especially when I'm moving into an upper limit. When I'm growing and I know I'm moving past where I am to a new, I'm going to call it a level, that's when it just shows up back to back. Like in these last 3 weeks, I have had like, okay, what am I doing? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But I keep it moving.
Good.
I keep it moving. And I know I would say I'm so realized now that I know when it's happening, and I'll be talking about it like in third person. Like,
And you're almost having a conversation with yourself.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natasha, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. We're going to take some time. Give yourself some love, girl. We got this. And then tomorrow, it's back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And it might need to look like sitting in my chair in front of the television.
With a blanket.
But, with the blanket, but marking those 3 most important things they got done.
Yeah. Good for you. It's
Yeah.
incredible. All right. I have a fire question for you. This is a spicy question. Do you feel love is necessary to feel pleasure?
Ooh.
Are they one and the same?
No, they're not.
Good answer.
Not at all.
Because I feel like a lot of women feel like, oh, I'm not worthy of pleasure unless it comes from love.
Yeah, it's a lot of pleasure anxiety going around.
Yeah.
Because of that vulnerable state. And usually, if their mind is like, oh, I need love, then they're so vulnerable, they don't want to have pleasure, because then that opens them up to being disappointed about not having love.
Right.
So I absolutely do not believe that you have to have love to have pleasure.
Yeah. I love that. Great answer. I
Yeah,
was hoping you would say it. I
girl.
was like, I wonder what she's going to say about this. What do you say to a woman who's playing it small? Who's watching this, who's just like, okay, I want to be worthy of love. I want to accept this. I want to stand in my power, but I'm still playing small. What do you say to her?
It's time.
Oh,
I say it's time because you know you want it. Just imagine the woman who doesn't know and is just so going through the motions.
Yep.
We've all been there. You go in stages. So the fact that you have the knowledge to do this, to want this, it is time you take action and get around the people who are going to help you. Listen to this podcast,
right.
Follow some people who are going to inspire you, and take one small step. It's one tiny step towards that thing that you want, whether it's love, whether it's peace, whatever it is, you have to choose yourself. And when you align with choosing yourself, when you understand what your yeses are, then your no will be easier and inevitable. Because right now they're probably saying yes to things they have no business saying yes to.
Yep.
And so they just kept losing themselves in the process.
Getting smaller
Yeah,
and smaller.
getting
and smaller.
smaller and smaller. So it's a muscle. I mean, we have mind maps, like neurological pathways that build based on our behavior. And if your behavior is choosing other people, it's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, I choose myself and it's so easy.
Right.
It's going to be baby step. Today I chose myself. Oh, right now I chose myself. Right now I chose myself. And then you're creating that neurological pathway. And it's almost like if you're walking in a field and you start going through that field. On the first day, you see all the weeds that are up. The second day, they might be bent over because you walked there. By the second week, you're going to have probably a dirt path. And it's going to be a lot easier for you to get through the field. So just take those baby steps.
I love that.
And create those new neurological pathways.
I love that. It's a great way to end. You like landed that plane like a boss right now. Now I want you to tell the people where we can find you, all the places, all the spaces, and please tell us when this pageant is and all the things.
Yes, I am Natasha McCrea everywhere you want to find me. MCCREA. And the pageant is in Palm Springs in June, which I'm super excited for.
Nice.
So I'll keep you posted on
Yeah,
that.
we'll have a follow-up to this. And I want to see the tiara, the
You're going to see it all.
I want to see
You're
it
gonna
all.
see
And we're going to
everything.
actually attach it to this episode.
Yes, I am leaning into it all. Yeah, so also I have an automatic yes reset that's on my website. So go there, check it out. I love that my sister just went through it and she's like, this is fire. And
I love
she
it.
will break things down for me when they're not.
Love
So that means a lot. Yeah, Natasha McCrea everywhere.
I love it. And we're going to add all of this to the show notes too.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here.
I
I actually am feeling the love coming from you. I know everyone who's listening to this is feeling the love. And I hope everyone is, put a heart in the comments right now and tell us about your love. Love yourself, love each other. And as always, keep your head above the chaos and carry on. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Carry On. Be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And don't forget to keep your head above the chaos and carry on.